showtime is here, so on with the show. Let's give it a go. Karel is the one that you need to know. Now it's showtime.
You gotta stop. Hey, what's that sound? Everybody knows what's going down. Why? Why are humans so quick to replace themselves? We're going to talk about that today and so much more on the Karel Cast. So don't go anywhere.
Uncensored, unfiltered, unhinged. It's the Karel Cast. Listen daily on your favorite streaming service.
It is the Karel Cast. I am Karel. Happy Thursday, December 4th. So very glad you are joining me. Why do humans have such a low opinion of themselves that they want to replace themselves? We are going to talk about that today. And welcome to all in the chat room at youtube.com/reallykarel. And all of my patrons, I could not do this show without you. I don't know if you know that I really mean that. You know, you hear all these platitudes, but I'm going to tell you. If you are a patron through Patreon, patreon.com/reallykarel, that is why the daily show exists. I could not exist as a show without the money I get from Patreon. I would have to go do something else because I must supplement my Social Security disability with as much as they allow. And they allow $1,297 a month. My patrons give me $1,020 a month. It falls within the limit, and without it, there would be no show. There just would be no show. You guys have paid off a computer that we use for the show. It's sitting right here. You guys have done a lot for the show. So I thank you for that. I just want to take time out here at the holidays and say thank you. If you wonder why I'm always cleaning my glasses, it's because the glass monster that I have told you about before, where you clean your glasses, they're totally clean, and then you put them on, and then 10 minutes later, somebody, unbeknownst to you, has come and smudged them all up, and you can't see. And it wasn't you. You didn't do it. But that's why I'm always cleaning my glasses. All right. James Schnabel, humans cost money and make errors, thus AI. You're jumping right into the topic, James. And James, as a pathologist, you should know the dangers of this. So this is my hot cocoa drink. It is 2 tablespoons of dark cacao powder, 1 teaspoon of matcha, 8 ounces of freshly made soy milk. I made soy milk this morning. That's why I'm late. My morning ran late. In the kitchen, I had so much to do this morning, and then I had to do my yoga and my weights and then get to the park and then get home and shower and be here with you. Anyway. And literally, I was playing ball at 9:59. I know I should have been here starting the show, but after our walk, Ember plays ball for a very short amount of time. Then she gets 4 little treats up on the bed, and then she gets a little mid-morning snack of kibble with some water and some liver dust. And that has to happen. Like, you know, I could be going on at Carnegie Hall, and if that hasn't happened yet, it's going to happen before I go on. I'm Madonna like that. I normally drink this before the show. It's so good. I finally got the right amount of Splenda. The Splenda without any additions. No dextrose, no none of that. No erythritol. It's just pure stevia. Pure stevia leaf. It's even called that. Pure stevia leaf. And I finally got the right amount because 1/32 of a teaspoon is a serving of pure stevia. And that's hard to measure. But I finally found a way, and it's not too sweet, and there's not a bitter aftertaste, and it's just perfect. So thank you, patrons, and thank you, Dark Cocoa Gods, and thank you, Universe. I'm so thankful today for so many things. I know I want to talk about robots and AI and tech and all of that, and of course the goings-on in Washington, D.C. But as the holiday month progresses, I am so grateful for you and to have this show. I am so grateful that Ember is still alive and well and running across the park to see her friend because she is aging. She is 10 plus now and she is aging. But I'm so grateful. And then yesterday, I just wanted to fill you all in since, you know, this is not a typical talk show. Screw that. I'd talk about this on KFI. or KGO. So I went to the immunologist yesterday. I got to tell you all this. I went to the immunologist. And she was like, I'm not sure that was shingles. Do you have photos of it? And I showed her the photos. She's like, well, and I'm all, honey, 3 other doctors looked at it. It was shingles. And then she said, well, the literature that we have said that you probably should take the second shot. I said this out loud. I said, because it just took me by, I said, you can shove that literature right up your ass. And she looked at me and said, pardon me? I said, the first shot put me in the hospital for 4 days. You think I'm going to take another one? Oh, but you need the protect. I'm all, screw that. I'll get shingles instead. I'm not going to risk it. And so she said, before they could tell me if I needed or if I can take another vaccine, they had to do a full immune system panel.
If you're not visiting reallykarel.com daily, you're missing out. Get the podcast, videos, and the blog, including recipes at reallykarel.com. That's really KAREL.com.
Showtime is here, no time to fear. Karel is so near because showtime is here. So on with the show, let's give it a go. Karel is the one that you need to know.
I just want to keep sharing this with you because it relates to politics and the world we live in. So she tells me I should have the second shingles shot probably, and I tell her to stick it up her ass. And because I'm seeing the PA, I thought I was seeing the doctor. I hate when they bait and switch. I'm in an appointment with a doctor. Instead, the PA comes in, but whatever. Care is care, right? So they then say we need to do a full immune panel on you to make sure you have all the components of your immune system, that they're all working before we tell you you can or cannot get another shot. Plus, we have to requisition the records from your hospital stay and, see what was really going on there. I'm like, okay, fine, go do all that. So I go to have my labs at Quest, where I always go. And, oh, she messed up. Oh, my God. I have a lump and I have a bruise here on my arm because she messed up. They had to take 5 tubes of blood. On tube number 4, it stopped coming out. And she was poking it in and moving it around, and it hurt. And I knew I was going to end. And sure enough. And then she had to re-stick me. Ugh. Anyway, so I asked the lady at the, and I'm sure I told you this yesterday, but I asked the lady about the new P cups and why they're so horrible. Dixie cups with just a fast food lid on top. And she said tariffs. And I said, fuck Donald Trump. I said it out loud while I was getting my blood drawn. And she laughed and she goes, you can't say that. I said, yes, I can. And she goes, well, we have Trump supporters out in the lobby. Don't be too loud. I go, then they ought to be embarrassed. They need to be ashamed. I am tired of liberals, progressives, socialists, gays, trans, people on the right side of history, on the right side of issues. I am so tired of us having to be quiet in fear of offending MAGA. I'm sick of it. I'm done. So I went on. I told this woman, I go, that man's a war criminal. He's a sex offender. And he needs to go. He is now holding SNAP benefit. My sister on the phone this morning said her January or December SNAP is probably not going to come because Arizona is a Democratic state now and they won't turn in the voter rolls. And Trump is using that. That should be impeachable right there. So you mean to tell me you are withholding food benefits from hungry Americans as an extortion to the states that won't comply with your wishes? Am I to be clear on that, Mr. Trump? Dozy Don. Well, yes. Okay, impeached. Goodbye. That's all it should take. Just that alone. Just using people's food. How despicable. That man needs to have a coronary or a stroke or an embolism, something. Something needs to happen to that man. He is pure evil. Because that is pure. And my friend Steve, DJ Valentino Rose, he said, doesn't have enough energy anymore to be the one thinking all this up. He's fallen asleep at meetings. The guy's toast. And I said, you're right. It's probably Stephen Miller or Jared Kushner or one of these other rich fracks who don't care if people starve, who are telling him to do this. Maybe it isn't him thinking up all this evil. Maybe it's someone surrounding him. But in the chat room, let's check what's going on. Replace your PA with AI. Yeah, probably. Me too. Saw my primary care cardiologist once. From then on, PAs. I know. When did PAs become a thing? Are they cheaper than doctors? Is it supposed to help us with care? I mean, why can't we see I'm old. I want to see a fucking doctor. And I know that's old thinking, and I know that PAs can prescribe drugs and order tests and all that, but they're not doctors. And 3 times, what did she have to go do? Consult with the doctor. Well, if you got to go out of the room 3 times to talk to the doctor, maybe, just maybe, you should send the fucking doctor in here, okay? Oh, I don't get it. I don't get it. When did PAs be? I'm getting old and cranky, aren't I? But I'm grateful. Look, I'm grateful I saw the PA. I'm grateful I have access to the blood test to see if my immune system is working properly. I am grateful today. Grateful for Ember, for my home, for heat. The heat was on when I got home because it was 37 degrees this morning in Las Vegas. Hello, aroused nipples. I was walking with my high beams on. 37 degrees, and the heat was on. And all I could think about is the people in America that don't have heat in their homes. Not the homeless people, which that's bad enough, but the people who don't have heat in their homes because they can't afford it. They can't afford heating oil, or they can't afford the gas or whatever. There are people that set their thermostats at like 55, and they wear sweaters and jackets in their homes. This is the country we live in. We have become such a horrible friggin' country. We have a president withholding food from poor and starving people so he can get his political agenda. We have criminals like Pete Hegsworth, or whatever his name is, and the president, who are guilty of murder, because that's what's going on with those boats. It's murder. It's not a war crime. There's no declared war. They are murderers. We have murderers. The head of the Pentagon is a murderer. And I don't care how you slice that. And the president is guilty of conspiracy to commit murder. That's just a fact. I mean, I'm not exaggerating. That's a fact. He gave the order to attack the boats. Pete seconded the order. The admiral carried it out. All 3 of them guilty of murder. Now they're trying to spin it. Oh, we were trying to hit the boat, not the people. You mean the people clinging to the fucking boat? These people, the depth of their depravity, it's bottomless. It is bottomless. I mean, really, like me, bottomless. Not a bottom to be found. Oh, anyway, sorry. What are we talking about in the chat room? I'm sure, what's it? I'm sure that's it. I think the NP has better training for outpatient advocacy. PAs can handle most of the routine encounters, and MDs and hospitals make money from procedures. Amen. Amen, sister. It's all a grift, ain't it? Everything in America is a grift now, child. It's all just a big grift. So, to that end, there's a very real chance in the next 10 years you go to the doctor and the first person you see is a robot. And you're like, oh, Karel, that's just not ever good. There's a very real chance in the next 10 years the first person you see at a doctor's office is a robot. And I ain't making that up. And I was watching something last night or 2 nights ago, and I said to myself, why are we hell-bent on making ourselves obsolete? No one is forcing us to create robots. There's not some big mandate. We must create robots. There's no pressure to create robots. And you and I, it is not on the top of our agenda. You're not sitting at home going, God, I wish I had a robot. You're not. The only people that want robots are corporations because they'll work cheaper, faster, no sick days, no vacations. Robots and their creation isn't some advancement to society. It's a way to get rid of you at your job. And why do we want to do this? Why do we want to make people obsolete in the workforce? Why? What do we think people are going to be doing? You see, rich people don't see our work as real work. And that's why they're so quick to come up with a replacement for it. For instance, house cleaning. Rich people don't see that as a real job. I mean, who would want to be a house cleaner? And yet, I know many people, one that cleans my house, that's very happy to be a house cleaner, loves her job, enjoys all of her clients, visiting with all of her clients, going to their homes, taking care of their homes with them. She enjoys being a house cleaner. It wasn't a secondary profession. She owns a cleaning company. She has 4 employees that work for her. And she's very, very happy. Why would I want to replace her or her staff with a robot? Why? Well, because they could do... No. Why? People that do data entry, people that, do all kinds of jobs that they say AI is going to take. Why? Why are we going to let AI, why are we building technology to make ourselves obsolete? Money. That's the only reason. Well, it can do it faster. It can do it better. No, it can do it more cheaply. So we are allowing corporations to convince us that this advent, this great thrust forward in technology is good for us. It's not good for us. In medicine, yes, AI is a good tool in medicine. You know what? As much as I love writing songs and having AI write the music, I don't need that. I could find producers, although it was hard. It was very hard, I have to tell you. But they were out there. It happened. Morgan Mallory wrote music for me. Leo Frappier wrote music for me. I could find people. Speaking of which, in 2 days, I Dance Because debuts. You can pre-order it right now on all music stores. Karel, Karel, I Dance Because. It's $8.90 because there's 12 remixes. Please, if you love me, go to wherever you purchase music, not stream, but purchase, iTunes, wherever, and buy, pre-order, Karel, Karel, I Dance Because. You're going to flip over the cover. So go ahead, because that will help it get noticed. Okay? It's a great song that I wrote in honor of those who have passed of HIV/AIDS. So please, 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 go and pre-order Karel, Karel, I Dance Because. But why is Hollywood advancing with all the AI? I have no problem with AI being used for space scenes or for things for computer generated graphics. Okay. But actors and actresses that are AI, why are we even pursuing that? What do we need it for? Oh, because if I have a company, I can't really hire someone. Yes, you can. Yeah, but this is easier. Easier doesn't mean better. We are making ourselves obsolete. And now there's these videos coming out of China of men picking synthetic partners. We're going to have robots replacing husbands and wives. You wait and see. I mean, that's coming. Can't find a date? Take your synthetic. Why? If any of you could answer, I know that you're going to say money. If that's the real reason, if that's the only reason, then we shouldn't be doing it. And it's corporations that are leading this charge. You and I aren't. We're not hot on AI. When I call my HOA now, and they answer the phone at the management company, it says, "Hi, this is Edna or some weird name with an E. Eden. Hi, this is Eden. Is this Charles?" Because they know the number I'm calling in on. "How can I help you today, Charles?" And there's background noise like she's in an office. It's AI. It's not real. And the first thing I say is representative. Well, I can transfer you to a person, but I could help you myself. I'm just all representative. Why are we getting rid of humans? We need jobs. We need to eat. We need to provide for our families. Truck drivers need a job. If you make self-driving semi-trucks, you know, what are the truck drivers going to do? People in food service need a job. Bartenders need jobs. There are already bars with robot bartenders. I want a bartender I can flirt with. I love flirting with the guys in the gay bars, the bartenders. Never go home with one. That's one of my rules. Daniel Charleston used to get mad because this one bartender one time at Studio One, oh my God, he was 6 foot, reddish hair, mustache, a god. He was in a Speedo. He was a god. And he was flirting with me. And not like he flirted with all the other customers. And Daniel's like, dude, the late Daniel Charleston, he is who, by the way, I want the people that gave Daniel Charleston his ketamine punished just like Matthew Perry's. But the police won't. Not to be all over the place today, but that story's in the news. The doctor that prescribed the ketamine for Matthew Perry is going to go to jail. Well, somebody gave my friend ketamine. Someone sold it to him. He got it from somewhere. I want them punished, but the police were like, no, we're not going to look into that. See? Money. Why are we trying to replace ourselves? Will there be robot cops?
Patreon is the way to show you care. Subscribe today if you dare. Keep the show on there. Patreon is the way. Now it's showtime.
Robots will be doing elder care within 5 years. Make no mistake about it. I tell everyone when we're older, I'm 63. When I need elder care, if I make 85, 90 and I need care, it'll be a robot. Make no mistake. Now, if it's as nice as Robin Williams was in Bicentennial Man, okay. But look, it's exciting that we're watching this, but there's also problems. I know you heard about the Waymo robot taxi that ran over the damn cat from the bodega, and the whole community of San Francisco is heartbroken. It killed this cat that was this centerpiece of this bodega. Everybody loved the cat. And it got hit by a Waymo taxi and died. And then 2 days ago, it happened again. A Waymo taxi ran over a dog. Oh, but the dog was off leash and in the street. That doesn't give the taxi permission to run it over. And when they start with these robots in elder care, seniors going to die because they're going to mess up. All technology messes up. Every bit of technology, because it's man-made and we are imperfect beings. And I, for one, being 63, I don't know, in 100 years, this will all be a moot point. And governments are going to have to find out how to make all their people be able to eat. How to make all their people able to, corporations are not forward thinking. They're thinking robots and AI is going to help them streamline and cut costs, whatever. If people don't have money, capitalism doesn't work. So if only the 1% have jobs and 70% of people are out of work because robots put them out of work, who's going to spend money on these companies? Who's going to go to Target? Who's going to go to Walmart? Who's going to buy goods? Who's going to buy goods from China? When robots can make iPhones, what are those people going to do? Corporations are so focused on their bottom line, they are forgetting that they need customers. And in order to have customers, those customers have to have money. They have to have money. And nobody is addressing how are we going to make money if there's no jobs. Someone said, well, learn how to fix the robots. You don't think robots will start teaching themselves how to fix themselves? I've seen Star Wars. It's the little Ewok, not the Ewoks. What are they called? Oh, come on, one of the nerds in the chat room. You know, the things that are in the desert, they're not the Ewoks. They're in the desert, and they're little and short, and they have the weird telescoping eyes, and they wear the little hoodies, and they're kind of evil, but they're scavengers, and then they fix robots and stuff. Oh, what are those things called? Oh, they're not Ewoks. They are... Oh, someone help me on that. In the chat room, please tell me what they are. You know what I mean. The little hooded, short things that are the scavengers, and they go around in those enormous vehicles in the desert areas, and they pick up all the scrap, and oh, what are they? Jawas! Thank you so much. I knew there was a nerd in my chat room. You know? So if you don't think that robots and automated, and they're going to fix themselves. They're going to make us obsolete because we're not needed on planet Earth. Planet Earth would be better without us. AI is going to figure that out. Animals would elephants would make a comeback. Giraffes would make a comeback. Hippos would animals everywhere would make a comeback. The planet would cure itself. If we're not around to eat all the animals and everything else, AI is going to figure that out. You wait and see. You wait and see. So yeah, the Whammo killing things. I would stop. If I were San Francisco, after it killed one animal, I'd make it so they can't be there anymore. Take your cars out of service, and when you fix it so it can't kill an animal, then you can come back. But until then, no. A cat and a dog being killed in a 2-month period, that's not acceptable to me. That cat was beloved. And that dog was somebody's child. And to have a Waymo just run them over and kill them, if it was a human, they would have stopped. They would have said, no more Waymos until you fix it. Oh, but it's just a dog and a cat. No, they should stop. Don't you agree? Waymos should be put out of service in San Francisco until they can guarantee they will not kill an animal. Do you all agree with that? If I were the mayor, I would say, nope, get out of my city until you can guarantee you won't kill an animal. But I'm an animal lover. So, yes, John Slade, you're a nerd. You knew what a Jawa was. You're a nerd. Get over it. The nerd, the Bible made a typo. It wasn't the meek shall inherit the earth. It was the geek shall inherit the earth. And they have. Bill Gates, Steve Jobs, Tim Cook, these people in Silicon Valley, they're all nerds. Mark Zuckerberg, the epitome of nerd. Yes, it was the geek shall inherit the earth, not the meek. It was just a typo. All right. Part 2 of the Karel cast will be coming up. I hope you stick with me. God, it flies by. Even an hour. Can't believe I only did 30 minutes before. How did I only do 30 minutes before? Everything flies by. I'd be over right now if I only did 30 minutes. I'm glad I expanded it. It just whizzes by. But yes, we've got, we need strong leadership in the AI and robotics area. And yes, we need restrictions. Just like we have restrictions, you can't clone a human, although I'm quite sure some rich guy somewhere is paying for that. You can't clone a human. You shouldn't be able to make a robot that replaces a human. You just shouldn't. You should not be able to make a robot, for instance, that does house cleaning, because we have house cleaners. You shouldn't be able to make a robot that does data entry, because we have data entry. I don't know about healthcare. Could you imagine sending robots into remote areas to do healthcare that people can't get to? That would be groundbreaking. So I don't know how I feel about that. And yeah, they're going to be better than us. They're going to be able to jump 20 feet in the air. They're going to be able to scale mountains. Some of them might be able to fly. They're going to be better than we are. Why are we creating things that'll be better than us? So someone else can make money and we can be out of a job. That's smart. Boy, that's smart. Lord have mercy.
It's broadcasting from a completely different point of view. Yours. Listen daily to the Karel cast on your favorite streaming service.
showtime is here, no time to fear. Karel is so near because showtime is here. So on with the show, let's give it a go. Karel is the one that you need to know. Now it's showtime.
All right, starting a week from today, I want to let you all know that most of the shows, not next week, but the week after through New Year, they're not going to be a lot of politics. I think I'm going to go take a ride in a Zeus. Those are a driverless car here in Vegas. Let's go explore.
Uncensored, unfiltered, unhinged. It's the Karel Cast. Listen daily on your favorite streaming service.
So it is the Karel Cast Part 2. I'm Karel, of course. Don't forget chat room at youtube.com/reallykarel. And please become a patron. We just had a $4.99 person sign up last week. Thank you very much. I don't say their names unless they want me to, because some people don't want their names read out. But thank you. You know who you are. You signed up last week for $4.99 a month. Thank you so much. And don't forget to please go pre-order Karel, Karel, I Dance Because. Go to the iTunes store or whatever store, Tidal, Amazon Music, wherever you get your music, and pre-order it for $8.90, and it will really, really help me. So please go do that. All right. Yes, driverless cars. We have a Zeus here, Zoosk. I think it's Amazon. And they're all over the place over on the Strip. And I think, so not next week. Next week, we're still going to do politics and, you know, current events and all that. But for the week after and the week after that, in between Christmas Eve and New Year's and all that, most of the topics are not going to be political because it's the year end and I've had enough. So I'm trying to plan topics that are not political. So going for a ride in a Zeus would be a good thing to go tape and bring to you, since most of you haven't been in a driverless car. I will be terrified. I will be. I'm old. I know there'll come a time where it's in all the future movies you get in, like Johnny Cab, you get in and there's no driver. But think about how many Uber drivers there are, how many Lyft drivers there are, and how many taxi drivers there are. That number has to be, would you say in the millions? I don't know how to approximate that. But if I go by Las Vegas and how many Uber drivers there are here, I wonder if there's a statistic, how many people drive for Uber, like a national statistic. And the Uber is worldwide, and Lyft and all of that. Take that away. Suddenly you got driverless vehicles. And don't think Uber isn't leading the charge. Uber wants driverless technology. You'll still order an Uber. It'll just be a driverless Uber. Uber will then make the money and not the driver. What will the driver do? Who knows? You know? Homemade pet food. Oh, you want a segment on that? Embers is really easy to make, but I can do a segment on that for you next week. I'm going to show you how to make her homemade dog biscuits during that time. Where I make her homemade dog biscuits, and I'm going to give you the recipes. I have a couple recipes for homemade dog biscuits. No, they're not vegan. Well, one is, but the others aren't. And then as for homemade dog food, that really is up to your dog. In other words, Ember eats venison and elk. It's not factory farmed, and she tends to lick herself more and be more itchy when I give her chicken, which I won't give her chicken because of bird flu, and turkey. So chicken and turkey tend to make her lick more. So I give her venison and elk, which I get at Sprouts. It's my biggest expense because it's $14 for 12 ounces. It's basically $1 an ounce for elk or venison. I wish I knew someone like in Texas that could just send me 50 pounds of frozen venison. But venison and elk, that's what Ember eats. And then she eats that with quinoa, and because quinoa is very good for a dog. And then, but you got to rinse it first. There's a chemical on it that you got to rinse off. And by the way, quinoa, $17 for 3 pounds. I don't know why quinoa has exploded in pricing. And you can't get strawberries right now. There's no strawberries at the store. None. Zero. The rains in California that happened for that week have destroyed the strawberry crop, wiped them out. I went to 3 stores and said, do you have any strawberries? Albertsons, Smith's, and Sprouts. None of them had strawberries. None. They said the weather wiped them out. Remember what I said about vertical gardening a while back, and that we all need to be, every state needs to be vertical gardening because it's weatherproof? Yeah. No strawberries at the store. None. At least not here. Maybe where you're at there are, but not here. Not in Nevada. Not in California. So that's wonderful. So anyway, yes, Ember eats, and then so it's quinoa, venison and elk, and then mixed vegetables, which include yellow squash, green squash, sweet potato, kale, or spinach, but a small amount. Spinach and kale.
If you're not visiting reallykarel.com daily, you're missing out. Get the podcast videos and the blog, including recipes, at reallykarel.com. That's really KAREL.com.
Showtime is here, no time to fear. Karel is so near because showtime is here. So on with the show, let's give it a go. Karel is the one that you need to know.
All right, we are back. So spinach and kale is not really good for a dog in large quantities. In small quantities, it's fine. And then carrot. She gets carrot, 2 types of squash. She gets spinach, kale, sweet potato. I know she eats better than most humans, right? And then, of course, throughout the day, she also gets a third a cup of the UD science diet, UD, urinary tract. I told y'all she passed a bladder stone. Oh, when I found that, I didn't know what it was. Thought it was a tooth. Brought it to the vet. Like, what the hell is this? He's, it's a bladder stone. She did it so quietly, I didn't even know. I would have screamed. I mean, it was only 5 millimeters. Like, it was not big. It was 5 millimeters, about that big. If that came out of me, oh, Lord, it would have been like I was delivering a child. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Okay. Let's see. Then you need to buy one of what? Okay. So no, if you own a driverless car, you won't need a driver's license because you ain't driving. So Congress today are hearing from the Navy admiral who ordered the attack that killed the strike boats because they're trying to make him the scapegoat. Because, Trump is a grifter and he's going to protect his own. So he'll throw a general under the bus or an admiral. That's not going to go well with his rank and file, military people, by the way. Just not going to go well. Driver dies after crashing into light pole. See, that's 30,000 people a year die in car crashes. And they needn't. I think I want a hybrid car. I want a car that you can drive or it could drive on its own. But one thing it won't do is get in a wreck. So it is in some way connected through the roadway or whatever to the other vehicles. So it would know if there's like a half a mile up, if there's a car wreck and the road is blocked, it would know. How many times do we see these pileups because it's snowing and people don't know that the cars are stopped? There's a show, a wonderful show on HBO Max called In the Eye of the Storm. They get footage like you just can't believe. And they did a snowstorm and there's footage of a pileup, like a 50-car pileup. And watching it made me cry because the people don't see that the cars are stopped and then they just crash right into them and get wedged in between, die, get smacked, get trapped, get hit. It's horrible. Being in a pileup, remember all those Irwin Allen movies in the 70s, Smash Up on Interstate 5 and whatever? I used to love those. But now that I've seen real ones, yeah. I want cars that won't do that. I don't need cars to be completely autonomous. I just need it so they won't crash into each other, kill pets, kill pedestrians. That's what I need. I need a car that is idiot-proof. It doesn't have to be autonomous, but if the driver's too busy texting or whatever, it won't let them hit another car, go too slow, go too fast. So in terms of automobiles, yes, automation and AI is not a bad thing. I'm not saying they should be completely driverless. There should always be a human there in case something goes wrong. I'm going to go ride in the Zeusk and tape it for you. If something goes wrong in that car, there's no one there. In a Waymo, if something goes... Oh, did you hear in LA talking about Waymo? Not only did it kill a dog in San Francisco and kill a cat, but yesterday in Los Angeles with a passenger, one of these Waymos drove through a police barricade scene where the police had closed the road because they were shooting and there was, armed gunmen and stuff. And this taxi just drives right through the middle of it. The passenger could have been killed. Well, it's just starting out. Yes, I know. And I know that this is all in its infancy. And, but again, we need to have a clear vision of where we want it to go. Cars that don't get in wrecks. We need smarter roads. We need roads that talk to the car, and they're totally possible. They have one out in Riverside. It's totally possible. We need cars that can communicate with the road, adjust their speed, so there's never a traffic jam. There should never be traffic jams. A computer could prevent traffic jams. So hybrid technology that helps the human, doesn't replace the human. When it comes to cars, there's a lot of technology and AI that could help a driver. We don't need to eliminate the driver. See, that's what I mean. There's a lot of technology that could help in healthcare, but we don't need to eliminate the nurses. We don't need to eliminate the doctors. We need the technology to assist them, not replace them. And that's the difference. AI and robots should assist humans. They should not ever replace them. Ever. No matter what the job is. We shouldn't replace a human. We should assist a human. On construction sites, I could see robots being put to great use. But there still needs to be a contractor there. There still needs to be workers there. So, anyway. Just give us over 70 a driverless car. Yeah, I agree. I agree. All right. So what else is going on in the news? Let's take a look at the news as only you and I can. Steve Witkoff to meet Ukrainian officials after fruitless talks with Vladimir Putin. Will someone please take Vladimir Putin out? Oh my God. Just get rid of that piece of human garbage. Him and Trump. Take them out together in bed. Next time they're in bed together, just take them out. Have the bed short circuit, because I'm sure they go to those cheap motels with the beds that cost 50 cents and vibrate. Used to be a dime. Let's see what else. Your driving choices could be hiding signs of future cognitive decline. So the algorithm feeds me stories about Alzheimer's because it's one of my biggest fears, and I tend to read a lot of stories about Alzheimer's and cognitive decline. That's why I'm taking choline, choline. Do you know most of you don't get enough choline, and choline is for the nervous system and for the brain. And as a vegan, I don't really eat it, so I've started taking it. But yeah, they say if you're older and you stick to known routes and you won't go new places because you don't know the way, that's a sign that you could be headed towards cognitive decline. Karen's that way, Karen Dittman. She will drive. If she has an appointment in a place she's never been, the day before the appointment, she will drive the route so she's familiar with it. I always thought she was, I don't know, a little strange for that, but now I can see the advantage of it. FBI arrests suspect in 2021 DC pipe bomb case. Yes, have you heard that? They arrested someone for, I always thought it was Marjorie Taylor Greene out there, but they, remember, on January 6th, someone had planted pipe bombs that didn't go on. And it was outside the Democratic National Committee's headquarters on the eve of the riots. They have arrested a suspect. The school district for Prince William County, Virginia, which includes Woodbridge, confirmed to CBS News that Cole graduated from high school in 2013. I don't know Brian Cole of Woodbridge, Virginia. They have no They don't know anything about him. We don't know if he's MAGA. We don't know if he's a liberal. We know nothing about him. But Brian Cole from Woodbridge, Virginia, we will know a lot about soon. But he was the person that was out there planting pipe bombs, or so they say. Nowadays, do we even, can we even, let's see. Ilhan Omar says Trump attack on Somali immigrants is a deflect attention from scrutiny. Of course it is. He's an evil man. A new study revealed doing this highly enjoyable activity every day could lower your dementia risk. You see how I get a lot of stories about dementia? I think, what do they say? Is it crosswords? Let's see. Monash University in Australia looked at data from more than 10,000 adults over age 70 and found that those who listened to music most days experienced a 39% lower likelihood of developing dementia. How many of you listen to music every day? So Apple does this thing called replay, and it tells you, how much you listen to music and who your favorite artists were and all of that. Last year, let's see, where is my replay? Last year, I listened to, I think it's 91,000. It was a huge amount. 91,000 minutes of replay. Here it is. This is your replay. So jump in. Let's see. Let me tell you. I will tell you how much I listen to because we know it's good for your brain. Let's see. I'm signing in. Well, it wants me to sign into my Apple account for some reason. I don't know why. I should be signed in. Continue through Apple Music. Play your highlight reel. Okay, here. Okay. So in 2025, how much music did you listen to? In 2025, I listened to 91,147 minutes, 30% more than the year prior. 91,000 minutes. How many hours is that? I'll have to do the math. I was very loyal to many artists. I still, my number one, Emily Sandé. 1,400 minutes I listened to Emily Sandé. I love Emily Sandé. 1,400 minutes to Emily Sandé. And then in second place was Barbra Streisand, Anita Baker. Oh, yes. Barbra Streisand's my number 2 artist under Emily Sandé. Vesta Williams, because I missed her a lot last year. And so I listened to a lot of her music. You made it to Vesta's top. Oh, I'm in the country. I'm one of her top 5 listeners. I am the number 1 listener of Emily Sandé in the country. I am. 4,100 songs I listened to last year. And one song became my new anthem. And that was Do You Want a Funk by Karel. I played that over 150 times. 48 albums, including 5 from Barbra Streisand, 3 from Emily Sandé, 2 from Adele. And then spa and relaxation music is in my top 5 because I listen to a lot of spa and relaxation music. It's lovely around the house to have that, go playing. In 2025, my top genre was pop. Second was R&B. Third was easy listening. How about that? Isn't that something? Can we do the math, somebody? How many hours 91,000 minutes of music is? Computer, how many hours is 91,100 minutes? Is it not going to tell me? 1,500 hours. Divide by 365. Let's see how much I listen to every day. Oh, it's 4 solid days of music is what that is. So yeah, listen to the music. It's good for you. It'll keep off the dementia. And I do. And by the way, they found that house music between 120 and 140 BPMs, they found that's actually very, very, very good to listen to. It stimulates the brain, gets you motivated. So yeah. House Republican women are in revolt against Mike Johnson because he's revolting. They're going to loosen the criteria to license drugs. Did you see that? Yeah. They're not going to make drugs go through such a rigorous process to be approved. Oh, that's great, isn't it? Isn't it? Isn't that just, that's just great? And they're going to make it harder to get a vaccine. They're going to make vaccine manufacturers jump through more hoops. Meanwhile, regular drug companies, they're going to make not be as stringent. Isn't that something? What a world. All right, we'll finish up when I come back. How about news hours? I don't know how many news hours I watch. There's no replay to tell me that. I wonder. It's a good question. I probably watch an hour a day of the BBC, all told. So what is that, 365 hours a year? Maybe a little more. Probably like 500 hours of news. Probably. At least 365 hours, which is like, 12 whole days or something of news. But yeah, I definitely listen to more music than I do watch TV. All right, we'll finish up in a second. Don't go. I'll be counting my music. One song at a time.
Patreon is the way to show you care. Subscribe today if you dare. Keep the show on there. Patreon is the way. Now it's showtime.
Alrighty nighty then. This is the last show of the week. I will be back Monday through Thursday of next week, of course. Don't forget, if you're not a patron, you can still become one. Patreon.com/Really Karel. Without the patrons, the show does not exist. I am going to send out a Zoom link and talk with my patrons this weekend as a holiday talk. So if you're a patron, look for a Zoom link. I can't believe this headline. There's a headline on my news feed that I'm just like, really? This pride.com, it is the worst gay website on the internet because all they do is talk about sex. And this headline from pride.com, 7 celebrities who proudly embrace their bottom identity. First of all, TMI. TMI. I don't need to know which gay celebrities are a top and a bottom. Second of all, I hate how gay culture fixates on that. Because if you're really a good gay guy, then you're going to be versatile. These people, I'm only this, I'm only that. Oh, honey, please. Toss a coin and throw in the lube. It's like whoever lands on top, whatever. But there are these gay guys, oh, I would never bottom, or I would always be whatever. Just stop. And for pride.com to do a story, and now I know that you guys want to know who the 7 celebrities that embrace their bottomness are. And I'd like to know how pride.com knows that Bowen Yang is a bottom, or that Lil Nas X is a bottom, or that Ryan O'Connell, who I don't even know who he is a bottom, or Chris Olsen, who again, I have no idea who he is a bottom, or that Haas Slyman, again, no idea who he is, or Max Lord, again, no idea who he is, and Renee Rapp. How can she be a bottom? She's a girl. But why do I need to know that? Why does anybody need to know that? There's a website that said the 30 best pop albums of 2025. So I clicked it and realized I'm really old because I didn't know any of them. Not one. Just not. All right. Don't forget to go and order Karel, K-A-R-E-L, I Dance Because. Speaking of music, there you go. You can go listen to that. The Pentagon reportedly new strike on alleged drug boat left survivors. Oh, great. Great. So now we got senators involved. They're murderers too. A special election has put Democrats on track to flip the House. That's somewhat good news. A Democrat won yesterday. They lost in Tennessee, but they won. They picked up a seat. I think it was in Georgia in a special election. Is this what they're talking about? Because there was a special election, and the Democrat won. Blah, 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 blah. Ahead of its special election held on December 2nd in Tennessee, Democrats hoped to repeat. They didn't. But they did have a stronger than normal showing, which is hopeful. And we'll see if they flip the House. I hope they do, and then impeach that mother. You know what? What else is in the news that you should know about today? New York's population is struggling to recover from COVID-19. Aren't we all? Gen Z loses faith in America. Oh, well. Join the frickin' club, Gen Z. How young Americans say they believe things in the nation are. Oh, 57% say wrong track. Wow. Young Americans. What is Gen Z again? What years were they born? Computer. When was Gen Z born? Like it's going to know. These are all creations, by the way. Baby boomers. Yes. Oh, my God. Wow. 1997 and 2012. They're already polling people born in 1997 or 2012. Those people are like still in diapers, aren't they? Jesus Christ, they're kids. 1997. Gen Z. All right. I hope you've had fun today. I had a ball and I had cocoa. And I'll be back on Monday. Please join me. Don't forget to check out the website, reallykarel.com. Subscribe and like and comment on the videos at youtube.com/reallykarel. I am Karel. I want you to be who you want to be so long as it doesn't hurt anybody. And don't forget, it's the holiday season. Try to have a little. Last night, I wanted to watch TV out in the living room, not here in the TV room, because of the Christmas trees. I have 2 Christmas trees, a little one, this one big, this big, and then another one. And then my pencil cactus on the patio is decorated. It was beautiful. Last night, I sat looking at my house and said, it's so pretty in here. I loved it. And so I didn't want to leave the living room. So I sat there with the tree glowing and the other tree and and I'm alone, just me and Ember. But you know what? It's still beautiful. So don't forget, this is a holiday weekend. The holidays are just a few weeks away. I think Christmas is like 2 weeks or 3 weeks from today. 21 days from today. Yeah, 3 weeks from today. So have a great weekend. Come back on Monday all refreshed and ready to face the day. To those in the chatters, in the chat room, youtube.com/reallykarel. Hey, thank you for being there. And for those of you that need more music in your life, like the survey says, so you stave off the Alzheimer's, I bet my music will stave off Alzheimer's. So go and pre-order Karel, Karel, I Dance Because. It's not that hard. Karel, I Dance Because. Pre-order it now, and that will help me get it, out there to the world. In the meantime, don't take any of this crap too seriously because none of us are going to get out of this alive. So please just, breathe. Don't let Pentagon Pete drive you crazy. Trump's going to do stupid things every single day between now and Monday. So just try to take a step back, realize it's the holidays, and breathe. With his dual citizenship wife, Melania, Slovenia, and his dual citizenship son, Baron, from Slovenia. I don't know why that irks me. Why does it irk me that the first lady is a dual citizen of another country? Why does that bother me? I mean, it actually bothers me. I don't think if you're the president or the first lady, you should be a dual citizen of any. Now, I'm all for dual citizenship. I am. I want to be a dual citizen of another country. But why does it bother me that Melania is a citizen of the United States and Slovenia? Why would that bother me? But it does. Does it bother you? Be honest. Put your comment down below. Does the fact that the First Lady is a dual citizen, does that bother you at all? It shouldn't. I mean, we're allowed to be. And she's, but it bothers me. It does. I mean, she's the First Lady. She should have one country. Me? Do I sound like MAGA? No.
It's broadcasting from a completely different point of view. Yours. Listen daily to the Karel Cast on your favorite streaming service.